Don't forget that there's no way you will run from geometry. You can't run from geometry, be it ASVAB, be it in TEAS, be it in HESI, and some other people that are working on other exams that are not even in USA. Some people that are working on PCAN, you can't run from geometry. And here we have what? Circle. We have a circle right there. Here we have a square. We have the circumference of a circle is 44 pi centimeter. Circumference, right? What is its area? And when it's a circle, that circumference is like perimeter, right? Yeah. What is the formula for circumference? I will say circumference, I will just make it short, is what? 44 pi centimeter here. We don't have radius, we don't have diameter. And then circumference is pi d or 2 pi r. That's formula for circumference. So, and what do we need? We need r, we need radius, because when it is area, because we still need area, right? Area is what? Pi r square. So, I will just say, let's go for 2 pi r as the circumference, so that we can have r from there. We can have radius from there. If you use ID, you can still get radius from there. If you have your diameter will just be, you just divide it by 2 to get your radius. Fine. So I will just say circumference is 2 pi r. So I will just say 44 pi is 2 pi r. Do we get something here? Do we understand what I've just put? 44 pi is 2 pi r. 44 pi, that's what? Circumference given to us. And the formula for circumference is 2 pi r. So that's what I've just done. So we need r as a sort of formula here. What are we using to divide both sides? Divide both sides by 2 pi. Use 2 pi to divide both sides. So pi will go here. 2 pi, okay, r remains. Then 2 pi will go here. And that will now do. So r will now be what? R will be 44 divided by 2, and that will be 22 centimeter. That's just r, radius. So see something. Look at what D is saying. Look at our answer D. So you can see a trap is there. So if you just do 22 and say, oh, that's my answer, that's wrong, because the question didn't ask you to find radius. Mind you, a question can still say find radius. You may be given another one that will tell you circumference is given to you, find your radius. So if you are to find radius, you have the radius. If you are to find diameter, you just multiply that by 2. So you go. But for this one, we are finding area. So area is what? Area is what? Pi r squared. And that will be what? I will retain that pi as pi. So that will be what? Pi 22 squared. So what is 22 squared? 22. Let's multiply. That will be 4, put 0, 4. And that will be 4a4. So that means what? 484 pi centimeter square. And that's C. That is C. So second one. So the perimeter of a square is 48. What is its area? I will ask question from us now. The first thing, what is the formula for finding perimeter of a square? Then another question is, if you want to talk about a square, what can you say about square? About their sides. What can you say about the side of square? All the 4 sides of a square. We need to know those properties. What are the properties of square? Square, same side. Say the 4 sides are equal. A square has 4 sides equal. All 4 sides equal. So that means when you have a square, you have your length. I mean the 4 lengths, which are equal. Now perimeter. What's the formula for finding perimeter? For the perimeter, that will be length plus width plus length plus width. 2 into parentheses L plus plus width plus, not time. Perimeter, we just use P for that. Perimeter, or let me write it so that somebody will not say what's that. Perimeter is 2 into L plus width, which is the same thing as length plus width plus width. Now, perimeter is given to us, right, as the what? 48. Then I will say, since we know that length is equal to width, right, we can now say 2 into length plus length. We now make us to say 48 is 2 what? We have length plus length. What's that? Length plus length will be 2 lengths. That will now be, okay, I will say 2 into 2 lengths so that we won't be confused. So that will now be 48 equal to 4 lengths. We can now divide both sides by 4, right? Let's divide. What is our length now? Length is now what? How many 4 in 4? 1. How many 4 in 8? 2. So that will be 12. That will be 12 inches. So length here is 4 inches. Let's now go for area. What is area now? Area is now length times width, which is what? 12 times 12. Remember, both the length and the width, they will be the same because we are working on square, right? And that's just like L square, which will be 144 inches squared. And the answer is B. The answer is B. No triangle has a perimeter of 50 centimeters. A perimeter again, but another shape, right? Rectangle right there. Our time will not permit us to take all the plane shapes tonight. But at least those ones we will be taking tonight know their perimeter, know their area. So for this one, rectangle, remember, circle, square, let it be glue. Glue it into your brain. Somebody said, I'm borrowing that message. Glue it, circle and square up there, area and then circumference for them. Now rectangle is having perimeter of 50. So I will quickly write perimeter is 50 centimeter, and then the length is given right now. So length is 15 centimeter. The question is, find the area again. Perimeter, right? What is the formula for the perimeter? The formula will be what? Perimeter 2 into length plus width, just like that of square. Just like, similar to square. Perimeter of a rectangle, perimeter of a square. But the difference there is square has equal sides. And that's why they didn't give us size. They didn't give us any length for square. But for perimeter, because they have different width, different length, so length is given to us here. So remember, perimeter, the formula for perimeter of a rectangle is 2 into L plus the width, which is what? Which is still the same thing as length plus width plus width. So just remember that. Add all of them together. So, but we have perimeter, we have length. We don't have width. And for the area, we need what? Width, right? Because area will be length times width. So we need width. That means width will be the first thing to calculate right here. Yeah. So yes, let's go. So we now put our perimeter. 50 is, okay, let's say 2 length positive 2 width, right? No, so that we can have width on its own. We want to have width on its own. So we don't want to cause complication here, right? We want to make it simpler and simpler going forward. So we now have 50 to give us 2 times 15. Length is 15, right? Positive 2 width. Now, what do we have? That will still be 50 equal to 30. That is 2 times 15. That's 30, right? Positive 2 width. We'll now take our 30 to that 50 side, right? That will be 50 negative 30 equal to 2 width. Yes, we collect the like terms. Perfect. So that will now be 20, right? Equal to 2 width. We cannot divide both sides by what? 2. Let's divide both sides by 2. And our width is now 10 centimeter. Now that we've known width, is that all? I mean, it can be funny that they will just put 10 centimeter as part of our answer. And we just be like, oh, is that my answer? But that's just to fake us. That area will now be length times width. And that will be what? Length is 15. Width is 10 now. And that will now be 150 centimeters squared. Do we have it? Yes, that's A. Oh, next is our diameter again. Diameter of a what? Semicircle. Let me ask us something. We have worked on circle, right? Now a semicircle. How can we describe a semicircle? We just say half of the area of a circle, because that's the way we do it. Right. So we now have to find area of a semicircle. So diameter, I will quickly write it as D. D is what? 14 meters. Then what will I do here? Let's find radius. So D over 2 will be radius, and that will be 14 divided by 2. And that's what? 7 meter. That's radius, right? Okay, let's go. What is the next? The next thing is to find area of a semicircle. So with that is area of a semicircle. That's what the question asks us to find. So that will be from area of a circle, which is pi r squared. It will now be half of it. So that will be half pi r squared. Half, that's 1. Then pi. What is pi? We use pi like that. So pi will be pi. Then r squared. What is r squared? R times r. R squared will be 7 squared. Don't forget, 7 squared is not 14. 7 squared, that will be 49. I mean 7 times 7, 7 times 7, 49. So don't forget. So it will now be what? Half 49 pi. So which should be what? What is 49 divided by 2? So how many 2 in this? That will be 2. How many 2 in 9? That will be 4. And then that will be 0.5, right? So that should be 24 pi, 0.5 pi. 24.5 pi. Okay. The answer is not there. All right. So don't bother yourself about that. But at least I saw so many of us with the correct answer. So, but don't forget to put your pi. Don't forget to put your pi. So don't forget, put pi, because without pi it will not be correct. Without pi it will not be correct. So but I want to try something. Let's say we have 49 divided by 2, then put 22 over 7, because something maybe pi supposed not to be there. Pi might be the error over there. So let's say this cancel this 7. So that's now what? 1. I mean this are so it's supposed to be without pi. So that will now be 11. So which will be 77 meters squared. It's supposed to be without pi. So the answer should be D, but without pi. So that means this should be without pi. So let's just note that. Yeah, pi should not be there. So I will just adjust it. So sorry about that. But I mean, it's, human error, right? Human error. We can't. Yeah. So you see that our answer will be 24.5 pi meters squared. Yes, or 77 meters square, or 77 meter square. So which should be D if there is no pi? 2 methods. The first method can be find the speed. The question say how far. We want to find distance here. You can first find the speed, then use that speed to find the distance with this time. Or use proportion. Yeah, you can use proportion. Yeah, you can use proportion. You just put, since they said the same rate, distance is what? Let me write that. Distance. Yeah. Distance is 1 area mile. Then time is 3 hours, right? So what is rate? Rate is what? Like speed, right? Speed. So we can find speed here. Speed is distance over time. Distance over time. Then we can say speed is what? What is distance? 1 area divided by 3. And that would be 60 mile per hour. That's a step. So the second step will now be, they say at the same rate, right? So distance rate. So I will continue to this. The same rate. So second one. So at the same speed. So speed is 60 meter per hour. Then so distance is, or no, yeah, let me say x. So time is 5 hours. So we can use speed is distance over time. Then what is distance? Distance is speed times time. And that will be what? That will be 60 times 5. And our answer will be 300 miles, which is C. Another way to do it, which will be, I mean, it depends on you. So they said 1 area is for what? Is for 3 hours. So 1 area is for 3 hours. 1 area is for 3 hours. Then 5 hours is for x, because we don't know that, right? So we now say 1 area over 3 equal to x over 5. Let's cross multiply. So that will now be what? 3x is 1 area times 5. We cannot divide both sides by what? By 3. Divide both sides by 3. How many 3 in 1 area? I will just say 60. 60, right? Yeah. And then we now have 6 is what? I mean, x is now 300 miles. So it's up to you. Whatever you want to use, use. Okay? Any of the formula, whether the proportion one, this is the proportion one. This is the use of proportion. Or you use the formula and make sure you do it completely. So whatever you wish to use, whatever method, it will work. Okay? So we want to use proportion in this case now. Proportion, we want to use it. I will just say or. So we want to do it again. So we now say distance. Distance given to us is 1 area. Let me clean it very well. So you can easily, I mean, by practicing constantly, it will be part of you to quickly decide which formula will be suitable. So I will say 1 area miles. We go, go with what? Go with, we are using proportion now, but we have used speed equal to distance over time from the beginning. We used speed equal to distance over time earlier. So, but now this time, this part, I'm using proportion to solve it. So 1 area mile is to what? 3 hours. Then they said the same rate. So you don't need to bother yourself. Yes. How far is asking for another distance, right? Make that distance x. Then equate it to how many hours there? 5 hours. So now write it in a proportion way. That will be 1 area. That will be 1 area divided by 3 equal to x divided by 5. So a place to note here, something to note, not to fall for trick, not to fall for trap, is make sure when you put your mile on top for the numerator, make sure the second side numerator there is also mile, so that the time will be the denominator. So if you want to do it the other way, make sure they follow the order. And like If you are putting time for the numerator, make sure the two numerator will be what? Sine. So if not, if you place them like two, maybe one instead of one area and x, you now put one area and maybe x down, that will be wrong. Yes, so mile over hour, like that. So just to make sure you are consistent with whatever you are putting together. So now cross multiply once you have equal to in between, and that will be 3x to give us 1 area times 5. For me, I used to say I don't complicate. You can complicate by multiplying to make it bigger number. So instead, I will just say divide by 3. Divide by 3. And I can easily divide 1 area by 3. So that will be 60. That will be 60 for me. And that 3 will go, and that will be x equal to what? 60 times 5. And that's why I have 300 miles, which is still the same as when we use the first formula. 6 right now. We are taking 6. A nurse can prepare patient charts in 12 minutes. Patient charts in 12 minutes. At this rate, how many charts can she complete in 1 hour? How many charts can she complete in 1 hour? What do you want to do? I mean, just to prepare patient charts, right? Yes, they will say drink that sheet. Drink that sheet. That's it. Drink water. That's it. And it's a command. You have to drink. Even if you don't feel like, put it on your mouth. Drink. And when they tell you, you done, then drop it. That's it. You got to drink it. Yeah, you got to drink it. And it's good for us. It's for our good. Because people can die of dehydration. Yes. They even showed us some of the videos. Or no, maybe not that place, not that time. Some people that died in the course of PT training because they are dehydrated. This nurse can prepare, that part will be, yeah, sure. Oh, okay. I just, I was like, what are you saying? But look at it. They didn't say one, but they said a nurse can prepare patient chart. They didn't say patients. Or they can, it can be, they did not generalize. They didn't make it like, look, it's not looking like a double chart here. It doesn't look like double. Okay, you understand? And they said patient. They didn't make it plural for 12 minutes. So we just say like one patient, like just a chart, a patient chart. I will just say one patient chart. How many minutes? 12 minutes to do that, to prepare it. At the same rate, how many charts can she complete in 1 hour? Yeah, a lot of things on the chart. Weight, height, oh my god, a lot. So how many charts can she complete in 1 hour? So what do we want to do? Well, we can say how many charts. So let's say x here, right, equal to 1 hour. Do you want to use 1 hour that way? We can use proportion here. If you like, you can just say divide straight. But do you want to use 1 hour here, or what do we use here? Let me ask that. So I will say 1 over 12 is x over what? Thank you, 60. Because 1 hour is 60 minutes. 60 minutes make 1 hour. Because we are having 12 minutes, don't use, if you use 1, that will be wrong. That would be wrong if you use, like, if I now put 1 here, that would be very wrong. That would be very wrong, because we won't even get the answer correctly. So that will now be divided by 60. It has to be the same unit. We have to convert it to the same unit. Very cross multiply. When you cross multiply, we have what? 12x is 60. 10 times 60 will be 67. A student's test score increased from 60 to 75. What is the percentage increase? Student test score increased from 60 to 70. The first thing, what is the like I would say initial, original? What is the original score? Original score. Original score is 60. Final score is what? Final score or the new score. Final score is 75. Then what is now the increase? Hello, we want to find what? Percentage increase. Is there a way to find percentage increase without finding increase? Well, some people will say there is a way, but for me, I prefer us to first show it, find the increase. Don't let anything as smart source. Let's find the increase and be sure of what we are doing. Some people can do it. They can quickly use 1 point something something and do it. But for me, I will say let's take it bit by bit, step by step, and be sure that we are doing it. And if you do it like that, don't say it will be too long. It will take, if you take time and you are able to get the answer, the point, is it not better? That's it. So what is the increase? Increase is what? Increase is final minus original. I will just say FS final negative OS original. So that will now be 75 negative 60. What's that? 15. So now that we know it's 15, we now say percentage increase is now what? Yeah, following. Okay. Percentage increase is now what? That will now be increase. The formula is increase over original. I will say OS because of my space. I will just say OS. OS is original, or let me write original. Original can still be okay for you. Original score, increase score, then multiply by 100 over 1. So that will now be what? Increase is 15. Original is what? 60. Then we now multiply by 100 and over 1. And that will now be, without wasting time, 15 and 60 can divide each other, right? Say how many 15 in 15? 1. How many 15 in 60? That will be 4. Then I will have 4 and 100. How many 4 in 100? How many 4 in 4? 1. How many 4 in 100? That will be 25. What else do I have? Nothing again over there. So it will now be what? So that will now be what? 25%. And that's it. Our C. A jacket originally cost $80 and is on sale for 25% off. Like what? This can write. What is the sale price? So price, which is like original price, is what? Cost price is $80 and on sale for 25% off. Like it is going to reduce by what? 25%. Discount, percentage discounts given to us is 25 because they want to reduce the price. So what is now the amount? What is the discount amount? So X will now be what? How many 12 in 60? That will be 5. And that's B. So what is the amount? What is the discount amount? So discount amount will now be 25 of 80, right? 25 over 100 times 80%. That's 80. So let's say divided by 1. For me, once you have 25 and 100, just say how many 25 in 25? So 25 will be 1. Then how many 25 in 100? That will be 4. So how many 4 in 80? That will be 20. That is 4 in 8, 2. 4 in 0, 0. So we now have what? The amount is now what there? $20. It means $40 is what? Is the amount that is like discount. The amount that will reduce from that 80. So how do we now know the sale price? So the sale price will now be what? Will be equal to, so I will just say cost price negative what? The discount, which is discount amount. And that's what? $80 negative $20. And the answer is now $60. So that's the answer is 60, which is what? B, which is B. Okay, so a fair coin is tossed once, just like our 25 cents, tossed once. What is the probability of getting head? This is just a straightforward thing. Head. A coin will only have a head and a tail. So a head and a tail. Those are the two things, two outcomes. Yeah, of outcomes. Number of faces of coin that we can have will be just two-sided. Then if you are not talking about head, for you to have head, it will be one. To have tail, it will be one. So I will still put tail just for us to learn. For tail is one, so it will only always be head and tail, or head or tail, or any of the two at a time. So if you now want to find the probability of getting heads, will now be 1, which is number of head over the total number of coin of sided that we can have, and that will be B. That will be B. So we can have more than this, right? What's the probability of getting a head or a tail? What are we doing in that one? If it is probability of, I'm saying another example now. Probability of getting a head or a tail. What's that? Or. This or, we need to consider that. We find probability of getting a head, probability of getting a tail differently, separately. Then we now add it together because they say or. Another option, that's another thing. If we have two coins, if it's not just one, yes, both or and can be possible. Do we get that? So yes, answer is 1 for this, for the probability of getting a head or a tail, because that will be probability of getting a head will be 1/2. Then probability of getting a tail will be 1/2 as well. Then the question now say or, so probability, the one with or now, will now be equal to 1/2 plus 1/2, and that will be 1. So if two coins are tossed at the same time, then we can say what will be the probability of having a head and a tail. And both, you use multiply, and or both, that will be multiply. So that will just be, if you are talking about that, let's say both now, or and having a tail and a head, that will just be and times, that will just 1/2 times 1/2. So the first time, if it is tail, 1/2. Second time, if it is head, 1/2. And that will now be, you just multiply 1 times 1, 1, 2 times 2, 4, and that's it. So that will just be, follow whatever they ask you to do. Okay, just follow whatever they ask for. Sided die, we all know a die, right? What is the probability of rolling a number greater than 4? A number greater than 4. I want us to list what are the outcome of a die. What are those numbers? What are the numbers that when you roll a die, how many numbers are we expecting? Can we see? How many numbers can we see? We will see 6 numbers, like 1, 2, 3. Let me write it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 will be what? Will be the numbers that when you roll a die, you will see any of these numbers. So the question is now, what is the probability of rolling a number greater than 4? Let's get something here. The question did not say greater than or equal to 4, right? The only thing is greater than 4. That means 4 will not be included, right? So those numbers will be 2 of these, and that will now be probability will just be what? 2 divided by 6. The total number 6, the ones we are considering 2, so that will now be 1/3, and the answer is B. So don't forget that you have to do it to the last, to the simplify to the last part. They can even put 2/6, but if 1/3 is there, better to pick 1/3. Yeah, that's it. So this is, if we can still have 2 dice, right? It can still be 2 dice, like we are playing Ludo. I don't know whether we call it Ludo in US. So if you are having it, let's say we have 2 dice, we can still have more, right? We can still have what is the probability of having more? I mean, it can be more to this, more than what we are having just now. It can be more than that it will give us more things. So remember, when the question say greater than 4, 4 is not included. Less than 4, 4 is not included. But by the time they say greater than or equal to, then 4 will be part of it, because those are the tricks that they can use for us. Okay, let's go. So very important to read the question completely. So the total from beginning has been altered. So, and that's a trap that, okay, let's dig it. Let them fall for it. And that's why we just need to study. So by the time you practice, you will be able to recognize when you have a trap, you will be able to see it. Then that will help to avoid falling into it. That will help to avoid. A bag contains 5 red balls. A bag contains 5 red balls and 3 blue balls. So 3, then 5. Making how many balls? So inside that bag, number of balls, how many? How many balls? We have 3 positive 5. That's a ball from beginning. A balls. So then I will write each of them. Red balls. That's 5. Then blue balls. Blue balls, 3. So 1 ball is drawn and not replaced. So that's a something to note. Emmy, that's something to note. 1 ball is drawn and not replaced. So I'll quickly say our balls now will be -1, and that will be 7. So total ball is now 7. Though we don't know which one is taken, or which one did they pick, which one is drawn, we don't know. But the good thing is the total of ball is now 7, no more 8. So what is the probability? The second ball drawn is blue if the first ball was red. So I will just say probability of second ball blue. Second ball to be blue. So probability that second ball will be blue will just be what? 3. Then our total of balls that will remain, since they've taken one has been taken. Page. This is your Becoming a Daily, where we are practicing to calculate mathematics. So it depends on your. So here we have probability of second ball to be blue. So 3 blue. Then the total number will remain 7. Us to check now on this 11, the same 11. What about if the question says, what is the probability of second ball drawn is blue if the first ball was blue? The second ball drawn is blue if the first ball was blue. I mean, that will just affect what? That means the first one will be, and it's not replaced, will be out of 3. Then when you now pick the second one, just like you did, the same, I mean, the way we it can be different way. They can also make it like this. What is probability of having second ball drawn to be red? if the first is red, you know, like that, like that. So now that they're talking about replacement, not replacement, this they can tell us what's the probability of picking, let's say without replacement. Also on this, they will now say what's the probability of picking two balls, one red, the other one green. The first one taken without replacement, let's say red. Red taken without red was first drawn. Red was drawn at the first time. They didn't replace it. Then they now draw what again? We want to draw two. Okay, okay, yeah, no problem. So we want to draw two balls. The first one has been drawn as red. Then the second one, so the second one is now drawn to be blue. So what would be the probability of having two balls drawn like that? The first one red, they didn't replace it. Then the second one blue. So what will you do now? What are we going to do to now know probability of having two balls drawn? Red first, no replacement, and blue second one. Two balls are to be drawn. The first one red without replacement, then second one blue. Answers are coming. Let's go. Yes, and this, yeah, and this times. Yes, you are right. You are right. And this times. Yes. Yes. Let's go. Russian. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Quickly drop your answers so that we can go. So that we can go. I mean, that one, once we are doing it, we are okay. I said, what's the probability? Like, we are still on the same question we are having here, right here. So I'm now saying, let's say we are to draw two balls. Red was drawn first without replacement. So what's the probability of drawing two balls? Red first without replacement, and second one blue. And now, probability of drawing two balls. One, the first one red without replacement, then followed by second one blue. Like if a ball, a red ball first and a blue ball second. A blue ball second. So I'm seeing the answers already. Let's just quickly do it so that we can go for this now. Guesses randomly. Okay, who said it? Somebody said it the other time, that guessing right here. Let me see that name. Okay, I don't want to mention your name, but you saw it. Oh, instant remis. Thank you for the rose, sir. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So a student guesses randomly on a multiple choice question with 4 options. What is the probability the student guesses correctly? You know, if you are talking about this, guessing how many outcome, how many available thing will that person have? 4 options. Then if a student will guess correct answer at all, correct answer will be only one. Yes, that will be only one answer. So for any student to guess right, that will be 1 divided by what? The total number of the answer, which will be 4. So, okay, maybe IT is saying me. Okay, maybe me ready, or me the one guessing or something. All right. So so I will just write here without wasting time that we know that only one answer will be correct. So only one answer will be right. So I will just say total question will be total choices or total options. Let me not use too much grammar. Total options. Let's go. So total options that we have there will be 4. Then correct option will now be what? Only 1. So probability of having a correct answer will be what? 1 over 4. And when you do it, I mean, this one, they now put it in percentage, in percent form. So you won't say how it's 1 over 4. It should be 0.25. But they've put all our answers in percentage. So let's just multiply by 100 so that it can be in percentage form. So, and that would be how many 4 in 100? 25. So the answer will be 25%. So, and our answer is A. Our answer is A.